My name is Adam Tye, and this is Diabolical Records, and we're on Edison Street in downtown Salt Lake. We've been here for 10 and a half years. The first 6 months we were in a shipping container, and then we moved here, so it'll be 11 years here in December. And yeah, we're just keeping music weird in Salt Lake as much as we possibly can. So this has gone from where we were literally like the only thing on this street to now it's like one of the busiest streets in the city, which is crazy. Street. Yeah, it's wild.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Take us inside.
Cool, yeah. Yeah, pretty simple setup. We have you come in and see the new arrivals, the stuff that we're most excited about. Over here we've got a lot of like reissues and restocks and stuff that are coming, and then we feature most of our favorite records of the last few months up on the wall up here. Then it just really simple. I don't like genres. I just don't think that you need to pick a lane to go in, just experiment with everything. So everything's just alphabetized. We don't do genres. And then it comes over here and we've got new trades. So these are records that people bring in and trade to us for credit or cash or whatever, either in collections sometimes or in like just a handful of records at a time sometimes. Up on the wall over here, we've got our collectible records. So this is our most expensive stuff. So up on the wall is like featured things, and then down here is extra stuff. Probably, let's see, our most expensive thing right now is this Beatles White Album, which is a 1985 reissue that was the direct metal mastering. It sounds incredible. Any DMM record is always going to be really limited. And then we just got in this Afghan Wigs record that's $300 that has just never been reissued, and it was printed in 87, and so a lot of records from the late 80s and up until like the mid 2000s, because they just weren't printing very many of them, tend to, if they haven't been repressed, tend to go for a lot of money just because of how little they were available. So
let's go to your listening station.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us what it looks like, because I understand it's new, yeah?
It is, yeah. It's been a pet project of mine. So this was the checkout counter for a store called Animalia that used to be on 900 South. We bought the counter from them, and then a friend of ours, Josh, who does woodworking, he kind of cut out the hole for us so we could drop the record players into it. And then I wanted to continue making it look really minimal, so our friend Reed dissected a headphone receiver and made this headphone just like custom volume knob. And then we've got this amazing mural by Andrew Alba. He did this for us in 2018. He's my favorite artist. I was collecting his art before I realized it was his art. And then we have a lot of his stuff at home, and we're just really good friends with him. And he came in and just did this absolutely incredible mural for us a few years ago. Yeah, it's
hard to describe. Yeah.
It's got a lot going on. There's a guitar.
There's an upside down pink.
Upside down. Yeah. There's an amplified Cyclops, and this has always looked like Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life to me. And so this is compilations, 10 inches, and then this is bands who played the shop. Like I said, we used to have concerts here. This used to be a lot more full, and so yeah, these are just bands throughout the years that played the shop. So this we carry a lot of local music. A lot of it's on vinyl, cassettes, records by a lot of local bands, and yeah, just kind of bring focus and a lot. And the funny thing to me always is that we sell the most local stuff to people from out of town.
Why do you think that is?
I think we get a lot of people that come here for conventions and stuff, and when people go out of town, they kind of have the idea like, oh, let me see what the local scene is like. I think for me, the popular answer for why records that will kind of drive me a little bit, I get bugged by stuff. I think a lot of people talk about the sound, which is great, and it sounds amazing, and I love the sound of records. I think people like collecting stuff, and I think if you're going to like spend time with something and you're going to like love something, it's easier for me to love something that I can hold and I can show my friends and I have this beautiful 12 by 12 artwork than to love something that I can pull up on my screen and be like, this is great. And it keeps pausing as you're tapping on the screen. Like, it's just, I think people like collecting and showing who they are through things that they collect. It's just kind of in our nature.
Tell me why the name.
It's less diabolical than it sounds. I liked comic books when I was a kid, and Robin would say to Batman, "That's diabolical, Batman." And I was working at a call center, and I was in a training at a call center, and I just doodled the word diabolical in this way that's on our big sign on our counter.
So we've been asking people to show record stores to show us their 45s.
Yes, and I misunderstood that.
That's okay. Are you going to show us the 45s, or what's going to happen?
I can show you the 45s. We have some, but they're not. There's a very small section of 45s, but most of my favorite stuff that I answered the questions for are LPs. So.
I think we want to see your favorite
All
stuff.
Right. Oh, cool. Yeah. I used to collect more 45s, but it just drove me crazy having to change the records all the time. It was not like, I like sitting down, putting a record on and just sitting down and kind of listening. This was kind of our most popular record at the moment. Like I said earlier, Sculpture Club, their new self-titled record. It's unbelievable. It's criminal how under listened to they are. This album, in my mind, should be a gigantic success, and hopefully it will be. There's a couple songs on here that are just beyond brilliant. It's recorded locally, and I think they're kind of mostly considered a Salt Lake band. So kind of Choir Boy is still a Salt Lake band, and Chaz is in Choir Boy, but none of them live in Salt Lake either. So yeah, it's kind of that weird dynamic that happens. And then I did pick 145. I found our most expensive 45 is this J Mascis Fade Into You. This was a weird thing that it came with this company called Keep, that is a shoe company, and they did this pair of purple shoes that when you bought those shoes, this 7-inch came with it. And
No way.
And so yeah, they're I don't remember, it was maybe like a couple hundred, and so it goes for $80. And so then this isn't rare necessarily, but it's the record that in my mind, if I wanted probably something that you wouldn't really be able to find many other places. This is a record by this guy, Ben Vince. He's a saxophonist, producer who I adore. He's been in a couple projects. He's just amazing. He does every track he collaborates with somebody new. It just has a very one-of-one sound. The label that it's on actually stopped. They kind of closed shop last year, and I bought out the rest of the copies of this from them. Because I just love it so much, and I just think it's a really important record. I think Paul Simon Graceland was technically my first record. We don't have that, but Frank's Wild Years was like my rebellious record. I was like, he is good, Dad. Like, he didn't get that weird, and it's honestly like not that weird of a record. That's one of the funny things with like when Tom Waits went weird, is that it just meant that there was like sounds in the background usually. Yeah, I love Tom Waits. He's my favorite. My dad and I had the chance to see him at 17, the last tour he ever did, and that was one of the thrills of my life. And then this is my favorite record of all time. This is my favorite band of all time, this band Nod. They're a UK psychedelic, kind of heavy psychedelic band, who I just adore. And I can't recommend this album enough. It's out of print at the moment. I keep emailing the label trying to ask them to do more pressings of it. But this is just like an hour and 25 minutes of drony, beautiful psych music.
Describe your customer. Like if you had to kind of, I'm sure you get all kinds of people.
We get all kinds. I think my ideal customer is usually somebody, and probably the customers who tend to come back the most, are people who are open to finding new music, and while they are looking for certain things at times, they're also very open to just coming in and exploring and finding something new to listen to, which I think is also something KRCL is great at exposing people, and I think that's why Salt Lake has a big an open mind to a lot of music is because there are great radio stations out there that have always been pushing people's boundaries.
Do you usually like try to help? Do you like guiding
That's
people?
my favorite thing. Yeah, my favorite thing. We don't sell online. I'm terrible on computers, but also my favorite part is just talking to people. And I think if you love particular industries, books, music, just arts in general, support stores that are trying to bring more of that into your life instead of supporting algorithms or other stuff like that that are trying to, just push things that they're trying to push for monetary reasons. Not to say we also make money, but
Absolutely.
but it's like, our main goal has always been to build a community of music lovers more than to build a community of people that pay us money. Support local business, support people that challenge what you think something should be. I have a pet peeve of when stuff opens and it's just the exact same as other stuff, and so that's why I think that's one of the best parts about Salt Lake's record scene is that it's like incredibly unique. In most cities you go to, there's like 4 stores, 2 of them are exactly the same, and then one of them's a little weird, and then the other one is, and I think you have Gray Whale, which has the most insanely smart group of people that work there, and they are into everything new and old, and they can recommend stuff that's incredible. You have Randy's, who always have the craziest trades that I don't understand. I've been trying to steal people selling them records for so long, and they just have this people that will sell them records. Fountain that just opened is unbelievable, and those guys are all these small sellers just selling stuff is just such a great idea that has been needed in this town for a really long time. Lavender up in Ogden is the best. The stuff they get in sometimes blows my mind. So I think we're really lucky in this city that there's a lot of record stores you can go into and see totally different stuff and be introduced to different things by everybody at those stores. So
awesome, and I love how supportive you are of other record shops. Good job.
We all coexist. There's not a competition. So
awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah.